Greetings, friends. To all you wonderful people who crave fresh air and fire-cooked meals, welcome. Today, we're stepping into the wild for a little adventure in wilderness cooking. Think rustic flavors, simple ingredients, and nature all around. Hungry already? Let's get started. Disarm your chicken? Oh, it's not just here to look pretty. Wilderness cooking never looked or smelled so good. If you're hungry for more, don't forget to sub and like for the next wild recipe adventure. Buckle up, folks. Let's get into the delicious details of this show. These chickens are not just getting grilled or fried. Nope, we're jucking them. Each piece will be packed into a glass jar, seasoned to perfection, and slow cooked over an open flame or nestled into hot coals. Here's why I decided to cook them in jars. It's an absolute flavor win. The sealed jars lock in every drop of juice, every bit of seasoning. No moisture lost, no flavor wasted. I love the days when everything just clicks, when the rhythm of the day feels perfectly attuned. The weather is beautiful, the fire's crackling, and there's a great cooking plan in motion. Great cooking starts with the right tools. Whether you're in the wild or your backyard, a sharp knife and solid gear make all the difference. Check out our hand-picked knives and tools, crafted for cooks who take their meals seriously. Free shipping and easy ordering. Just scan the QR code and gear up. I didn't just stumble on this recipe, I inherited it. My grandmother, a woman of formidable spirit and even more formidable seasonings, taught me this dance. She didn't measure ingredients, she summoned them. She didn't cook, she conjured. And in her kitchen, which smelled of thyme and quiet rebellion, I learned that true flavor does not come from complexity, but from care. Now I find myself here, in the wilderness, where time slows and jars become tiny theaters of transformation. But more than that, it's the ritual. It's the silence between tasks, the slow rhythm of it all. Cooking in jars reminds me that we're not meant to conquer time. We're meant to move with it. Blended parsley, fresh, vibrant, and fragrant, will be folded gently into the chicken. It clings to the meat like green lace, wrapping each piece in the brightness of the earth. In a separate bowl, I poured a generous spoonful of paprika, deep red, warm, and slightly sweet. It bloomed as it met the oil, turning into a silky, sunset-colored sauce. In the third bowl, I stirred together turmeric yogurt, a touch of cumin, and a pinch of salt. The mixture turned golden, thick and fragrant, like sunlight churned into cream. I thought about how my grandmother used to say that cooking was a kind of translation. You take what the earth gives and you interpret it. You take what you feel and you flavor it. You take what you remember and you share it. And that's what these jars were. Not just meals, not just sustenance, they were interpretations of love, of longing, of lineage. One jar for the wildness in me, one jar for the fire, one jar for the roots. I packed each flavor into its own jars, layering carefully, making sure each piece had its space, each had its say. The green, whispers of the garden, the red crackles of flame and dusk, and the gold is about earth and root and time itself. If you're feeling the fire, the flavors, and the stories cooked into every jar, don't forget to subscribe and like. Hit that button, join the journey, and let's keep cooking. One story, one flame, one jar at a time. Once sealed, I nestle the jars into the hot stones right in the cradle of the fire's glow. I laid a clean towel across the bottom of a large pot, soft protection between glass and metal. Follow our Instagram account for more slow cooked stories, wild flavors, and recipes passed down through time. Life in the wilderness moves to a different rhythm. Out here, the wind is your clock, the trees your shelter, and silence, real unbroken silence, becomes a companion, not a void. There are no deadlines, no buzz of artificial urgency. Only the soft crackle of the fire, the rustle of pine needles, and the slow, patient art of doing things with care. What? You learn to listen more, to want less, and to find meaning in the smallest, quietest moments. Out here, even a jar of chicken cooking in the coals feels like a ceremony. Picking herbs in the wild is a ritual in itself. You don't just gather, you search, smell, listen. Every sprig of thyme, every wild mint leaf carries the scent of the forest, the touch of morning dew, the memory of sunlight. There's something profoundly grounding about gathering what you need with your own hands. It teaches you to recognize abundance in simplicity. You start to notice what's growing around you, and in turn, you become more in tune with the land. Every leaf you pick is a lesson in humility and gratitude. As the fire crackles low and the forest hums around you, a warm cup becomes more than a drink, it becomes a small ceremony. Out here, with the fire low and the forest still, I take my tea and sit with my thoughts. Life doesn't always need answers, just space. Space to remember chasing fireflies barefoot, or the way she used to steep chamomile when someone cried. Out here, time stretches wide, and in that stretch, tea becomes a tether to the past, to peace, to the parts of ourselves we forget in the noise. I have more to surprise you. Today, it's koutab, paper-thin dough folded around a filling of cheese and fresh greens straight from the forest pantry. Each circle of dough is filled, folded, and sealed like a letter no one else can read. I mix wild herbs, parsley, mint, maybe a little sorrel with soft cheese until the scent alone is enough to make the fire lean in closer. Onto the hot pan they go, dry cooked until golden blisters bloom across the surface. The cheese melts just enough to hold the grains in a warm embrace. Simple, yes, but simple things done right often carry the biggest magic. As each koutab finishes cooking, I lay it gently on a wooden board, watching the steam rise like a sigh of satisfaction. The crust is thin, barely holding back the filling, just enough to give it a tender bite. Koutab is the kind of food that doesn't need a table, just hands. You tear it, fold it, and eat it. Then come the footsteps, small, hurried, joyful. The children are running, barefoot through the grass, cheeks flushed, eyes full of stories. The chicken in jar is quietly cooking all this while already. I pour the contents into a wide dish, letting the greens, the oil, the garlic, and the memories mix freely. Then there's the golden jar colored with turmeric and cumin, softened by yogurt. The chicken here is tender, mellow, and earthy. The spices don't shout, they sink low and long. Time to serve dinner.
Ay maşallah. Akşitler bunlar akşit. Hoş geldiniz.
They eat with the kind of honesty only children have. No hesitation, no judgment, just the pure joy of food that was made for them. One dips their bread into the broth, another scoops up a piece of chicken with both hands.
Ma kartuszkę kaçın kapıdım hadi. Bir de yapmayın antropı ya. Super.
The turmeric glows gently, the cumin speaks in low notes, and the yogurt has worked its quiet magic, making the chicken impossibly tender. It melts, it murmurs. It doesn't just taste like food, it tastes like care. And in that moment, the wilderness fades into a warm hush around us, and the table becomes not just a place to eat, but a place to belong. Their joy is effortless, unfiltered, the kind that makes you forget the weight of the world for a while. And so, we end the day the way all good days should end, with full hearts and full bellies. Until next time, friends.
Kanalımıza destek olmak istəyirsinizsə, online mağazamızdan xüsusi bıçaq və ya taxta qablarınızı əldə edə bilərsiniz. Mağazanın linki videonun altındakı təsvirdə var. Super.